tell all the boys no. Makes you feel good, yeah. I know you're out of my league, but that won't scare me away, oh no. You've carried on so long, you couldn't stop if you tried it. You've built your walls up so high that no one could ever climb it. But I'm gonna try, won't you let me see beneath your beautiful, won't you let me see beneath your perfect. Take it up now, girl, take it up now, girl. I wanna see inside, won't you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight. Hey, Drew here from LearnGuitarInLondon.com. I'm playing Labrinth and See Beneath Your Beautiful, song that I really like. I only ever do song lessons that, first of all, I'm going to teach you the whole thing for, and secondly, that I really enjoy. The first one actually is a little bit more than the second, but I do know how to play this whole song. So I'm going to take you through how to play it. It's very simple if you're a beginner, if you can thread together a few chords. I'm going to show you the chords, and this is a video of 2 parts. Okay, let's get started. Now, the version that I'm playing is, Labrinth has got a couple of versions on YouTube. One of them, he's actually finger picking that part at the beginning, like that. And it's kind of got a really nice picked version. I'll tell you what, I'll show you that as well, but I'm going to show you the simple strummed version to start with. The other version that I saw, he is strumming it. So this is what he's doing, okay? So we're starting off with a D chord. For a D chord, you put your index finger down on the 4th string down. First of all, let's just quickly label the strings. Eddie, A, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie, E, A, D, G, B, E, okay? And the fingers, index, middle, ring, and pinky. And the frets, fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, etc. So there you go, we're on the same page now. So you're starting with your index finger on the 2nd fret on the G string, right here. Middle finger, skipping down past the B string onto the thinnest E string on the 2nd fret also, and ring finger coming down onto the 3rd fret on the B string. Okay, that's your D chord. For a D, we strum the bottom 4 strings. Okay, so that's your first chord. I'll take you through the rhythm in just a second. Let's just do the chords first. So that's a D. And then we're changing to an E minor 7, okay? What we're doing, I always like to show you the easiest way to change, because for those of you who know, it's the smallest amount of movement, the better, so we can keep strumming, all right, and changing chords. So this is your D. To change to this chord, what we're going to do is we're going to leave that ring finger down where it is, but lift up the index and middle. We're going to take our little pinky, it's a good workout for the pinky, and we're going to press it down on the 3rd fret on the E string, bottom E string, okay? So these 2 are like a little unit, a little block holding down together. And then index finger is going to come down and hold down the 2nd fret on the A string. And for this chord, you strum all 6. Okay, so we're going D, and then little finger down, lifting up these 2, index finger over, strumming all 6. We're then changing to a G chord. Okay, from this chord, it is so easy. This is why this is really good if you're a beginner. So these fingers held down, take this middle finger and put it on the 3rd fret on the thickest string. Leave everything else where it is. Don't move. So just bring that finger up, and that's your G chord. For that, we also strum all 6. Okay, so we've got D, E minor 7, G, and finally an A. Okay, so this is how we do the A. So we need, this is the biggest chord change in this particular part of the song. You're going to lift up all these fingers. You're going to put your little finger down on the B string on the 2nd fret. You're going to put your ring finger down on the G string on the 2nd fret, and your middle finger down on the D string on the 2nd fret. Notice everything is wedged in the 2nd fret. Make sure we're not touching the markers. There you go, there's your chord. And for the A, we strum the bottom 5 strings. So that's your order of chords for the verse and the chorus, most of the chorus, not all of the chorus. So it's D, E minor 7, G, A, and then we're going to repeat it. We repeat that pattern of chords 4 times in the verse. Now let's talk about the rhythm. Okay, so the rhythm guitar part, what we're going to do is we're going to use a plectrum, or you can use your thumb, it doesn't really matter. But let's try to get this groove. First of all, it's all downstrokes, okay? So with the pick, you're always going towards the floor. Now, can you hear that I'm going... I'm putting a louder strum in there, can you hear that? That's what we call in music accenting, okay? So we're making a louder beat. Accents really bring your rhythm to life. You shouldn't always be playing a song, you know, there's some ballads that are going to be all the same sort of volume, but you shouldn't really be playing it necessarily always the same volume. You should be finding parts in the song, finding parts in the rhythm where you can accent, put in these little louder beats. And on this particular song, the way Labrinth does it, it's got this 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now I'm exaggerating a little bit there, okay, but that's what you need to be trying to practice. So if you could practice that with the chord changes, I'll just do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so that's your verse. Now, we get to this bridge, so that's the you've carried on so long you couldn't stop if you tried it. Okay, so you do have a new chord, which is a B minor. Now Labrinth plays a lot of the chords in his acoustic version as full bar chords, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just presume that you're a beginner, because it's really quite an easy song for a beginner, and I'm going to show you the open way of doing a B minor. However, it still will be one of the more challenging chords here, okay? So you take your index finger for this next chord, this B minor, put it down on the 1st fret on the thinnest string. You then take your middle finger, put it down on the 3rd fret on the B string. We then bring this little locked unit again, like we had with the G, so bring these fingers together and hold down on the 4th fret on the D and the G string. Okay, so that's your shape, that's your chord. When you go to that chord, so you're going to that chord from an A coming out of the verse, it is a big change, okay? It doesn't matter if you're still strumming a bit of open strings as you're changing the chord. You hear that I've strummed open? It's not the end of the world, and guitarists do that all the time, pro guitarists. You're just keeping the rhythm going, that's what matters. So that chord, try to lead with these fingers first. So get those down first, because we strum those first, and then bring the other fingers down. Okay, so that's your B minor. So we're going to go B minor, D, G, okay, and what we're doing for these chords is we're holding them down for double the amount of time rhythm-wise than we were in the verse. So listen, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Whereas before we were going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and changing chords. So you're holding these down for double the amount of time. What we call in music a bar, or in this particular instance 4 beats, okay, which for most pop songs that is a bar. So that's a B minor, D to a G. Now B minor to D, the change isn't that bad. You just bring that index finger up and then flick these other fingers round. From D to G, you're putting the little finger down like you would if you were changing to the 2nd chord in the song, but then you're just flicking these up here to make that G, alright? And then to the G to the A, well, you've already done that in the verse, okay? We do that twice, that chord sequence, so 1 bar for each chord of B minor, D, G and A, okay? And what you're doing, once again, with the dynamics, you know, the louder hits, is you're doing the same thing. Okay? Now this is the last time he plays that chord sequence, then he builds up. So they're all downs, But what I'm doing is I'm playing something called crescendo, so that means I'm making the bar louder, and that's going in the but I'm gonna try, won't you let. And you see, what that's doing is that's creating this, you know, we're getting to the chorus, people know the chorus is coming, and it just creates this sort of wonderful tension for when it goes into the chorus. Okay, the chorus, you'll be glad to hear, the chorus is exactly the same chords the first 2 times round as the verse, okay? So but what we're doing is we're playing everything just that little bit louder, and that's what makes the difference if you're a beginner. If you play a little bit louder, it sounds like a little bit more professional, okay? It sounds better. So we're going to go, would you let me see beneath your beautiful, let me see beneath your perfect, take it off. Now, when he sings the line, take it off, we're going to be going to the B minor from there. So once again, just to recap, that was all the same chords. I was accenting in the same places, but everything was louder, okay? So I hope you've got that. So for this take it off, we go to the B minor, okay? So we go B minor, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So we're holding down the B minor for half, and going to a D. So this is very much like the bridge, the part before the chorus, but we're not holding everything for a full 4 beats this time. So we're going B minor, D, G, A. Okay, so the same chord sequence as the part before the chorus, but everything's held for half the amount of time. So take it B minor, take it D, 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 G, 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 and A. And then we go to our regular verse chords again for the end of the chorus. Won't you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight? Okay, great. Now I promised you the finger picking version of the verse, so let's just go through that. Okay, so you know the chords, I'm just going to show you what the finger picking pattern is. So thumb on the D string, index finger on the G string, and then pinching with the ring and middle finger on the bottom 2 strings. So thumb, index, pinch. Then we change to C minor 7, same chord. Thumb now on the thickest string, and then these are the same. So index, pinch. I'll play the wrong chord there, but okay. And then we go to the G, exactly the same pattern. Thumb, index, pinch. And then A, just move the thumb down to the A string and go thumb, index, pinch. So that's what he's playing in the other version of it. You tell all the boys no, it makes you feel good, don't. Okay, so that's the picked version there that I promised you. Now, when he moves into verse 2 in the song, there's another technique that I would like to do, and then I'm gonna tell you about how to get the second part of this video. So, when he returns to verse 2, you've broken all the boys' hearts, makes you feel good. It's the same rhythm, okay? We're doing exactly the same, but we're palm muting the strings. Palm muting is a technique where we take this part of our palm and we rest it on the strings at the back here, okay? So normally your hand's free and not touching the strings, but for this, you're going to sit the palm here on the guitar, okay? Don't be here in the sound hole, because that's too muted. If you bring it back, you see the strings have got tone, okay? So that's what he's doing. That's called palm muting. It makes things sound much more kind of sort of rhythmical, a bit damp, as we call it. Okay, and it adds a really nice another little technique to your bag of tricks when you get to verse 2. So it's not too repetitive, always playing the same idea the whole time. So that's what he does in verse 2 with the palm muting, okay? Now, for the bridge, that's going to be included in the second part of this video. Now, to get the second part of this video, what you need to do is go to my website and sign up to my Guitar Tips newsletter. It's a newsletter that as soon as you sign up to it, I'll be sending you tips on how to play the guitar. If you're a complete beginner, it's absolutely perfect because it's crammed full of things that I've taught beginners for the last 8 years, and it's crammed full of things, the mistakes that they've made, so don't make the same mistakes as them by signing up to the newsletter. If you sign up to the newsletter, you also get instant access to the student area. It's all completely free, by the way. All it is just an email address. That's all you've got to give me. And yeah, you get instant access to the student area. The student area has other videos there that you can't find on YouTube. It has tab, and for you, if you're watching this, most importantly, it has the second part to this video, so you can watch that. Once again, as I said, all completely free. If you just click the link at the bottom of this video, you'll be able to find it from there. So that's everything. I really hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Take care, keep on playing, see you again soon.